Fun. Oh, and we're live. Awesome. I love seeing your surfboard in the background. It makes me want to go surfing again.
Oh, yeah, huh? They're so much fun. I can't wait to get back on the water again, bro. It's so great.
What is going on, everyone? We are live. We got about a 30-second delay, so you guys will see this in a few seconds. But for all you guys that are here with us right now, let us know in the GSD chat that you guys are here. I will wait for a few minutes. Let us know. Just comment on that little on that thread there with the links in the group. Just comment here and let us know you're here. All right. Awesome. So we'll wait a couple of minutes, I guess. Make sure that we get everyone that wants to be here. It's been pretty exciting. We got the deadline coming up for Elite. Everyone's been cramming through, getting in, and we're gonna have the hangout call for that, I believe, at 7, so in an hour, or PST. For those of you guys that are in EST, it'll be at 10. But yeah, a lot of exciting stuff, guys, and that's going to be, I believe the deadline is today. So for those of you guys that were kind of sitting on the fence and waiting to be able to take advantage of that price, make sure that you guys jump on that, and you'll be able to come on with us at 7 when we do go live there. It's not showing anyone on here. Let's see, make sure. David's here. What's up, David? What's up, Eric? How's it going, Josh? Phil, what's going on, brother? Awesome. Mackenzie, what's going on? It's not showing here. Oh, there we go. Starting to come on. Awesome. We'll wait a couple more minutes. Just make sure. Holy crap. Phone's going crazy. Awesome.
Good to be a boss.
It's great. It's great. Awesome. So, yeah, we'll go over. We're going to try and keep it a little bit shorter today. I'm going to try and finish within the hour so that everyone that's here, we can all jump on Elite for in an hour after this. Holy crap. Just turn that down. A little distracting. So, what are we at? 6:03. Oh, wait, a couple more minutes. It's exciting. We're just talking with Cam about next event coming up, getting an event coordinator to start putting together some more new events for everyone moving forward. We're going to start having them quarterly, and that's going to be a lot of fun. It was so much fun for all the guys that came out. I know a lot of you guys are probably here with us. So we got Eric Jones. What's up, buddy? Roman, how's it going, brother? Awesome. So for those of you guys that were not here last week, I saw Eric, so that this is your first one. What I would suggest, Eric, and for those of you guys that weren't here with us last week, we did do one last week. The link should be in here somewhere. Maybe what we'll do is we'll find it and we'll put it in the files section, and we'll just have all the dates. Because the last one, what we did is we kind of went over a goal setting exercise. So we had everyone go through, write out their income goals, what they have, but the little bit of a twist on here, most people are writing income goals and writing out their goals in a way where they're going to write it out where, I want to make this amount of money by this time, right? And so what we kind of did is we flipped it around and had it where it was written in the present tense 90 days down the road. Right. So now instead of you guys saying, oh, I want to create this is what I'm going to make. What that's doing is that's actually affirming that you don't have it. And so when you kind of write it in the present tense, it allows you to write it in a way where it's like, I've created this already. It's like a journal entry from that day, 90 days down the road. And you can really start to feel and experience that as if you've already created it. So for those of you guys that did not jump on with us last week, make sure that you go ahead and go do that. Write out your goal. That's going to be one of the really important parts as we start moving forward and really kick things off. So for those of you guys that were here with us, let me know in that little chat there, for those of you guys that were here with us, who wrote out your goal in the present tense and who took it, really fine-tuned it, has it down, has been reading it every morning and every night. Let me know in that comment section there in the GSD group. Let me know who has written out their goal in the present tense for 90 days down the road with their income goal, got descriptive, used all their 5 senses, and who has been actually following through with it and reading that every day, every morning and every night before they go to bed. Let me know in that comment section who's gone ahead and done that. And I'll give you guys a few seconds just to make sure that everyone can chat in there.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect, dude.
I just want to add that, guys, how important that really is when Jang's saying that. Don't take that part of this lightly, guys. Really don't. This is a very big part about creating your reality and creating the dreams that you have in front of you, because, you know, what's going to get you up here every day when it's hard or when it's not working? You know what I mean? What is going to get you up every single day and drive and motivate you to keep moving forward? And you have to have that vision very, very clear in your mind. Otherwise, sometimes life just takes over. You get distractions. See, like an airplane flying out your window. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? There's just distraction stuff, guys. But if you know every day what your focus is and you know what your goals are, then you know exactly what you got to do every day, because we're helping you develop and put a system in place so you can just follow and have your routine, your business routine. You know exactly what you got to do every single day. And so you need to have that vision clear. And that's really the first part of that. So I just want to throw that in there, guys. Very important.
Awesome, dude. I love that. And it's really, really true. And that's awesome. So we got Josh said he's got his done sitting on his nightstand. Scott said he's got his done, still adding and reading it every day. Awesome. And that's the thing too, right? Is as you kind of go, you might start to acquire new things that you're wanting to add into there, right? So that's always good to be kind of like adding to it as you go. And that'll be your 90. And then once that 90-day goal hits, we'll get to that point. We'll see where you've at, what things that you've hit, what things that you haven't hit, and then we'll recreate a new one for the next 90 days, right? So, yeah, that's awesome. So Josh got it done, Scott got it done. So we got 2 people. That's it. No one else got it done. See, this is the thing too, guys. Is what we're going to be doing is I'm sure some of you guys just need to comment still and let us know. But let us know in that comment section who got it done. And if you didn't get it done, let us know. I'll be like, no, I didn't get it done yet, right? Because this is one of the things too, guys. Is like, when we're going through all the stuff that Carlson teaches you, that I teach you, that Julian, that Nate, that any of the other leaders here that go and teach you, we're only going to be teaching you stuff that we're actually doing in our business, right? We're only going to teach you stuff that has actually benefited us, and not only our business, but maybe in our life in general, in any aspect. And that's the only reason why we come on and we share these things with you, right? That's the only reason why we do those. So when we do those things, we want to make sure that those of you guys actually take action and follow those. So Jeff's got it done as well. That's awesome, Jeff. I knew you'd get it done. What about Phil? Phil, did you get yours done? What about Eric, David, Mackenzie, Roman? Eric, is your first time, so you'll have to go back into that last hangout and do it for next time. But let us know, everyone, who's got it all done. Mackenzie's got it done. Need to be more consistent in reading it every morning and night. What you can do, and what I used to do in the beginning to make it a habit, is I would actually set an alarm whenever I had to get up, you know, in the morning. My alarm said read your vision or read your goal, right? So when I woke up and I had to go, mine's always on my phone. So when my alarm went off, I don't even use an alarm too much, but I would set it if I was getting in the habit where I wasn't doing it. Whenever I figured I was going to wake up, I would set an alarm that said read my goals. So that was literally the first thing. I would get up, I would drink some water, do some push-ups, and go and I would read that goal. And then it was just, once you start to do it over and over and over again, it starts to become a habit. And all of a sudden, it's not something that you need to be reminded of, because you start to do it consistently over a period of time, right? And so in the beginning, it is, because we're creating a new habit right now. Most of you guys don't do this. And I know I didn't do this when I first started. And so it's not something that becomes natural. You don't wake up and just do it. So it's, at first, you're going to have to consciously be aware of it and make sure that you're going and doing it. And as you start to do it over and over, it's going to start to just be something that you do unconsciously. You just wake up in the morning and that's what you do, right? Done, need to be more consistent. Done, still crafting, making it perfect. It's never going to be perfect, David. I know I feel the same way. I always want to make everything perfect, but it's done. You're still crafting it, and you're always going to be changing it. It's never going to be perfect. It's always going to be growing. It's always going to be changing, and there's never going to be a time when you're like, this is it. I got it, and it's done. But that's awesome, dude. You can always be crafting it, always be adding to it. First thing and last thing. Awesome, Phil. I knew you would be, buddy. That's awesome, dude. What's up, Angela? How's it going? Angela, actually, here, let me shoot you the panel link, Angela. Where are we here? Angela, I just sent you the link to the panel if you want to jump on here. Awesome. So we got, where are we? Trying to catch back on the. All right, so Jessica, there's actually science behind that. What did I miss? Read it every day, and after 21 days, it becomes a habit. And Eric goes, yeah, there actually is a science behind that. It does after you do something 21 days in a row. I believe that's the statistic. Obviously, it's an average. Some people will build a habit before that, some will be after, but an average of, I can't remember, David, you probably know the study. There was I don't know if it was hundreds or thousands of people that did it, but in an average of 21 days is what it takes to instill a habit. So guys, keep that in mind too when we're trying to create habits of anything. These are habits of maybe wanting to create a habit of reading every day, of reading a book every day, or a habit of listening to audios every day, right? For those of you guys too, I've been chatting with Kamala. I've been getting a bit busy, but when we throw together in the elite group that we're going to have in here, I'm actually going to give you guys access to my Audible account. Justin's out. Awesome. But in an average of 21 days. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How's it going, bro?
Good.
Awesome. Actually, I wanted to bring you out here because you've been just killing it the last few days. And I've been loving to see it, dude. You've been getting a lot of good results. I think when I saw that you're on track to Ooh, here, what we'll do, if you have a headset, try and use a headset when we're on, and we won't get any echoes and stuff like that.
All right, but yeah, dude, we were chatting a little bit there, and I'm like, dude, you must be on track to doing 10K soon. And you're like, dude, I'm already at over 5K or so, and on track to be doing 10K this month, and that's awesome. And what's really cool is I remember when you're at the event there, and you really just you really stepped into that power, and you just kind of set that intention that that's what you were gonna do, and it didn't matter what the hell you were gonna do, you were gonna go and do it. You know what I mean? And it was really cool to see. And it's like, what are some of the things that you've been implementing, maybe even since the event or since before that have kind of, you know, is there any things that you've been adding into your routine? What has been on your daily basis, like your day routines that you've been going through that allow you to kind of get those types of results?
I've been following along really closely with the breakthrough experience, balancing myself out, not getting too overexcited, not celebrating too early. Every morning, guarantee I read my 90-day goal set, I do my 10-day blessings, I follow exactly the routine you laid out for me, and just imagine that it's working.
It's so funny to see, right? And people will always message me like, Matt, what's the secret? What's the secret? I'm like, listening to what we say. Like all the stuff, like this is Kate, and all you guys hear, this is like proof. When you guys hear it from me, it can be like, oh, Matt's just saying that. Justin is physical proof that when you start to do these types of routines, and you start to do, like, getting grateful every morning, listening to reading the magic, going through and setting up your 90-day goal and reading it every day, taking action, going through the breakthrough experience, which is one of the best books, because that was one that actually I didn't even begin to read till probably when I was up in Big White last year, and I didn't even realize, like, when you're talking about balancing yourself, like, people don't even realize how important that is to not get overexcited, and that was one thing that would happen to me. I would have a $10,000 month, and I would jump up and down, and I'd be pumped, and it's okay to be excited. It's okay to be, you know, grateful for the results that you get, but when you start to become, how do I say that, you know, like, over enthusiastic about something, like, yes, get excited, but always look, no matter where you're at, no matter how good something happens and how awesome it is, always try to bring yourself back down to that balance like you did. So you look at, you know what, yeah, I'm having a great month, but there's always stuff I can be improving on. There's new ads I can be doing, there's new team members I can be helping, there's more books, there's more stuff, there's always more stuff that you can be able to do. Bring yourself back down to that balance. You equilibrate yourself rather than having the world equilibrate you, because the world's going to do it at random. Right, you're gonna get it randomly equilibrated by your account getting shut down or something random like that. But when, you know, and I would have that happen to me, because I would get, everything is always in balance, right? So when you're up, you know, something really good happens, bring yourself back down to that perfect balance so that the universe doesn't do it for you, right? The same thing when it goes down. Like, there's that one quote that I always talk about: every temporary defeat comes with a seed of equal or greater benefit, right? Because there's some of you guys too that are running into the opposite ways, where maybe you're having issues with ads that aren't converting or whatever it may be, right? And it's coming down, and just know that every temporary defeat and every adversity always does come with a seed of equal or greater benefit. And that's what's awesome, dude, is I've seen you grow so much just over the past, like how long has it been since you just got started in the beginning?
I originally started back May 20th is when we first did our first coaching call. It took a little bit to get myself situated because I was collecting EIs, so I took a couple payments to get that going, and then yeah, I started rolling it out. I started with only a small $300 budget, and I put that into ads. I pulled it out. I used that exact same $300 budget, and the extra $400 that I made, I used that 400 plus the 300 threw all back into managing my ads. And I kept scaling it up, and now this month alone, I have $3,000 to put into my advertising.
See, dude, like this is where it's at, guys, and this is the thing too. Is like, notice what Justin did. He made, right? He used 300 and made 400 or whatever out, right? Because he knows, okay, he has a $300 budget that he's going to spend every month. Okay, no matter what, no matter if he spends $300 and makes nothing, the next month he's spending 300 again. That was his budget. So when he spends 300 and now makes 400, he puts that 400 back onto the 300. Now he has 700, right? And you'll start to realize that even if you're at a loss, even if you keep a consistent $300 a month budget, okay, even if you spent 300 and only made 100. Only made 50, right? You put that 50 onto next month, now you have 350, right? It's going to consistently grow and come up. The biggest mistake that people can have is that they make the 50 and then they go spend it, right? And then they keep that $300 budget again. But you want to keep compounding it, guys. And this is where it can really, really get big, because you're compounding, and even if you're at a loss, well, guess what? You make only 100, now the next month it's 400. Now maybe with that $400 your budget, maybe you make 200, right? And then you put that 200 on to the 300. Now you have a $500 budget, right? And it's going to consistently grow and expand. And the thing is too, is now you're starting to realize too, you're getting a lot of your team members now that are all starting to produce, right? And this is where it gets really big, because now you're starting to see the growth from your team. Because guys, yes, it pays decently well on personal production, but where it gets really big is when you start getting your team in and they start taking advantage of everything that we have in place here. Because then it allows you to because what we have here, guys, there's nothing out here that people have a system that's this automated that allows the newest person to come through and just learn stuff. Because now, you know, from leveraging the system that we have in place, now Justin's making his own funnels, doing his own coaching calls. But the thing is he didn't have to handle all of that right from the beginning. Because can you imagine, Justin, right now, if you had to build your own funnels and do all this stuff right from the beginning, how much more difficult that would be?
Oh yeah, definitely. And you wouldn't be profiting as soon. You'd be having to split test everything else yourself. You wouldn't know what's converting as good. Yeah, I mean, coming in with you guys, you've split tested everything, so there is a base for everyone to test off of it and get rolling, get their commissions coming in right away, and then they can start advancing and start learning the new stuff and taking more control of it.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And this is one of the big things, and this is why, and I don't know if you guys realize this, I touched on this a little bit last webinar, but you guys in this group here, those of you guys like Justin building your own pages and doing your own coaching calls, I don't know if you look through everyone else in AWOL, but no one else is doing that stuff, except for the people that are now starting to get into Elite. But all of you guys here that, like, really what I want to do here is give you guys all the skills to be able to get to that point where you're doing what Justin's doing, where you're building your own pages, you're doing like what Carlson's doing, and you're doing your own webinars, right? You're getting to that point where you're doing every aspect, because the more your income is directly proportionate to the amount of value that you can provide to the marketplace. Some of you guys might have saw that post today. And so the more you start to take on, right, when you start to build your own pages, well, guess what? Now you can teach other people how to build their own pages, right? So now you become more valuable, you can help more people, you're going to make more money. And Justin, you're starting to realize that now. You're starting to make a lot more money because you're taking more responsibility for your business. You're doing a lot more things, and that's exactly why you're getting the results that you're getting. You're taking action, you're following everything to a T, and that's why I love seeing it so much, dude, because this is why you're getting results so fast, right? And it's just cool to to see stuff like that. And it's just, it was awesome, dude. It was so awesome having you out at the event, too. And that's one of the big things, too, guys. We're going to be having another event coming up in probably 2 months, maybe 3 months. And I want you to look at that shift from just Justin coming to that event. Now, even if you didn't come to the event, you were pretty determined no matter what. And I think you would have gotten results no matter what. But do you see that shift that you had when you come to the event? I remember that one exercise we did with you there, and you're normally, just a good, going guy. We're chat. We're not overly, out there or stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm in the the group there, and I'm focusing, and I'm not in your group. I was looking at other people, and all of a sudden I hear, "I'm gonna do whatever," and I'm like, Who the hell is this? And I look back, and it's Justin, and I've never seen you like that. Like, I've never seen you like that. But you're like, dude, I don't even know where that came from. I don't even know where that came from. All of a sudden, this just completely came over me. And how did that feel? You know what I mean? How did that feel to, like, come to that realization where you're like, you know what? Like, I'm going to do this. Like, I don't care what it takes. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to do this no matter what. Like, how did that feel when you go through and come to that realization?
It was such amazing clarity that came to me, and it felt like I had so much weight on my shoulders. It just got lifted. Like, I know this is happening. It's just that's that. This is it. I know that my dreams are happening, and just since then, everything that's I don't know. I've carried myself differently. I handled this thing differently. I don't know. It's amazing. There's lots of words for. You really just have to be there at the next event to feel it.
That's what's so awesome, dude. It's like you guys realize this, like in the comment section, guys. Let us know, like, can you guys see the amount of clarity that he has now? And like now he's just like, I just know it's gonna happen. I just know. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what comes. It's just gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen, dude. And this is one of the biggest things is when you get to that clarity and you start to realize, like, now it's just being reinforced. Because you got to that clarity, and now you're starting to see the results. So now it's like, see, told you it was going to work. Told you I'm going to get my dream, right? And now it's like really setting in and really getting it. Carlson, we were just talking earlier, he set his goal the other day. He's like, yeah, I'm going to have a $10,000 month. And we were just chatting today, and we got another 9 days into the month, and he's probably crossed it by the end of the day today. He's probably crossed $10,000 because and I knew as soon as he told me, he was like, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, I know you will, because you're that confident in your ability. You're gonna obviously go do it. Like, there's no reason that you're not gonna. You know what I mean? Like, he was so confident in the fact. I didn't even doubt him at all. I was like, of course you are. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, when did you set? What was it? Right when we left, Carlson?
Yeah, right when we left. Yeah, I mean, you guys saw that all go down, and I set that in clear intention, and I had that same kind of breakthrough at that event, and everything changed, and I just knew there was no turning back. I was going to do everything it took. Everything I was going to take. I knew it was going to happen. And again, it goes in with the vision. So like, once you know exactly what you're going to do and you have a plan of action, you're unstoppable, absolutely unstoppable. And so, like, I've been so busy working this month. And just been so great helping team members. I didn't even know until Jane brought up yesterday. He says, how much have you made so far? I'm like, I should go add it up. And end up looking, I'm like, oh my God, I'm almost there. And so, and then after adding up today's income, I'm literally like one sale away from busting it out today. And so, guys, that's what it really is. You have the plan, you have the strategy. We're helping you lay that out now, and just knowing, no matter what, you're not going to stop until you achieve that. And you're going to have these little micro breakthroughs, and then you're going to have these bigger breakthroughs, and you're just going to get into a rhythm or a groove, and you're going to be freaking unstoppable. So it's getting that momentum, getting forward, following instructions, and knowing what you want. And bam, now you got 10K a month. And I'll tell you the other thing, guys, when you get to have that first 10K month, it probably won't feel like that you think. I'm excited. I'm fired up. I am really proud of myself. I'm proud of all of our team for working really hard. But, guys, you know what? It actually just feels like the next logical step. That's where it doesn't feel like, oh, my God, when I hit 10K, it's just going to be, blah, blah, blah. I'm happy. I'm elated. But, again, guys, it just seems like the logical next step. You know what I mean? It just seems like, of course I'm making that now, right? So, guys, because you get in such a state of belief and such an understanding about what's going on that, of course you're going to make 10K, and of course you're going to make 15K next month, of course you're going to make 20K, you know what I mean? So, and if you have leaders like Jang who did do 33K in a month, it's like, well, of course I can get there, because I saw a teammate, I saw a friend do it, so if he can do it, why can't I, right? So
that's exactly, dude, and that's why I want to start to bring more people out now. Probably we'll have David coming out here again soon. Angela, I'd love to have you pop out here, and this is why I bring out, like, this is why we're going to have people come out here, because when you see Justin go and do this, right, that means you can do it. You see Carlson go and do it, that means you can do it. When you see me go out and do it, or Jake go out and do it, or anyone go out and do it, that shows you if they can do it, so can you. There's no difference from any one of us here. The only difference is that when you look at how clear Carlson is, look at how clear Justin is, look at how they know without a doubt in their mind, maybe it doesn't happen this month, maybe it doesn't happen 3 months from now. It doesn't matter. They know that it doesn't matter what happens, it doesn't matter how long it takes, it doesn't matter what comes into play, that it's going to happen. And they're going to keep taking action towards that goal. And when you know where you're going, this is why we set up those vision and those goals, right? We write that. They know where they're going. It's just like when you have a map and you know that you're here and you're driving up to here, you know you're just going to keep going towards there, and it might go over here, but you're going constantly to there, and you know where you're going. You're going to get there 99.9% of the time, as long as you don't stop, right? As long as you keep going towards that goal. And Angela, when we were at the event, we got to chatting a bit, but there was a lot of we had a lot of fun out there. It was a lot of fun with you and Tyler. I don't know if Tyler's with you right now. But yeah, we had a lot of fun out there. Was there any specific breakthrough that you had when you were out there at all?
Yeah, it was something Todd said that I heard before. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay, cool. I was like frozen there for a second on mine. But he said that fear is, something that's not going to go away. I think a lot of people deal with that are coming into our group because they've not, we're targeting people who haven't done this before. They never marketed anything online, let alone like started a business before. So for me especially, that was challenging because I didn't have any experience. I'm like 22 years old. I look like I'm 15, so there was kind of a lot of like fear there. And I just realized that it's not going to go away. So when it comes up, like the awareness that it's only coming to bring you down. The only fear that exists is like fear itself, That's the only thing to be afraid of, really. So
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what's funny, because fear paralyzes so many people. You know what I mean? And so many people will get into situations, and it's not even the thing that they're fearing that's holding them back. It's the creation of like the thought of them actually having. It's the fear itself that's actually holding them back. It's not actually the thing that they're afraid of. You know what I mean? And so like they can come in and have no experience, and that's actually when all of you guys coming in, and even Angela, when you come in with no experience, you're actually it's kind of a gift, because when you're coming in, a lot of people that have been in the industry for a long time that have never had a system like this, they've built up a lot of habits that not necessarily are serving them, right? So they've come through and they don't even know, and they maybe have built up this belief that, oh, in network marketing, 95% of people fail because it's really hard. Right? And then they have this fear that, oh, they're not getting results right away. Shoot, maybe I'm not going to make it. Maybe I'm not going to do this. Oh, no, like, right? But then when we're having new people come in now, and they're starting to get results right away, and you don't have those old habits. This is what's so cool, is that you're coming in and you're like immediately being able to go through, okay, well, I'm reading the magic. I'm reading these books. I'm listening to these audios. For those of you guys that are in the Elite, I'm actually going to give you guys access to my Audible. And I'll be putting on some new audiobooks and stuff like that there, so everyone will have access to Audible to be able to listen to. I got Influence and a couple other books on there, so that everyone's able to listen to audios, reading books and stuff like that. But it was so awesome to see. We had so much fun out there, and it was cool just being able to not only like be at the event with everyone, but being able to just kind of go out and have fun. We had a lot of times where, it's cool to think, because most people don't even realize that a life like this is really possible. And so when you get to those events and you start surrounding yourself, like you guys got to spend a lot of time with Cameron and Keala and them, Angela, when you guys were out there. And that's what's really, really cool, because I know from personal experience, and I know Carlson will attest to that, that getting around those guys as much as possible, and not even just in a business sense, but just seeing how they act in an everyday life. Like, what was it like just kind of being able to hang around with them on a day-to-day basis? Was there any kind of breakthroughs you had just hanging out with Cameron and Keala and stuff, and just kind of seeing how they went along their day-to-day routines and stuff, or anything like that?
yeah, for sure. I definitely noticed that for the most part, like they're very serious and focused, and very like mission focused. I would say. And then they section out time to just be like relaxed and having a good time, and it was all just very balanced and like it made sense, you know. And it was a really good example for me, I think, because I sort of try to mix the two, and I think you get better results when you focus dedicated time to a certain thing and just make it like more special like that. Everything is more special, more powerful, and just better overall, I would say.
Yeah, and you notice how Cam's a strong advocate for taking time out and taking naps or having fun or doing stuff like that. But the reason why, which is so good, because so many people, and I was having a conversation with someone last week or the week before, and because what can really, especially when you don't have the results right away, people are trying to work so much. They're working, coming home, working. They never take the time to have fun, to go out and go to the beach, go do something, you know, spend time with kids or friends or family or whatever. And it's really, really important to have that balance, to be able to go out and, yes, get some work done, section out some time so you know, okay, from 3 to 7, I'm going to hustle and get some work done, but as soon as 7 hits, I'm unplugging, I'm going to go out for an hour, I'm going to have some fun, I'm going to do whatever I want to do, because that's why we're doing this, right? You don't want to create it to be, you know, a job where you don't have the time to be able to go out and have fun. That's one of the biggest reasons why we all are doing this, is to not only create an income to be able to live a life that we all want to be able to do, but also to be able to have the time to go out and have fun, to go out and do things. And you'll notice when you spend a lot of time with Cameron's a big advocate for going and having those days, like his Sunday fun day, going out and just doing nothing. And I love that so much, because I never used to do that before, have that Sunday fun day. I used to work Sundays and just work all the way through, and it's really, really easy to get burnt out that way, because you're constantly working and you don't get the time for yourself. Don't be afraid to take all of Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, every time, and some of you guys are messaging me Sunday, and you'll notice I didn't reply to any of you, and because that's what I do. I completely unplug. All I did was spend some time with my family, hung out, and had some fun. And you know, it allows you to kind of take time, have fun, reset, so that you come back in the next week and you're hard throughout the week. Then you get to go do whatever the hell you want on the Sunday. You know, and so there's actually one thing. Maybe I'll post this here, because a lot of you guys are going to start making quite a bit of money moving forward. I mean, this is only seriously just the beginning, especially for those of you guys that are getting into elite and really taking this to the next level. I'm gonna post a thing in the chats here. There's a thing called I thought it was 5 jars, but this one says 6 jars. It's like the 6 jar system. And so what do you do is you'll have 6 different jars. So as your money's kind of coming in, and this kind of ties into that Sunday fun day kind of thing, is you're gonna have your income, and if you guys open that up, you guys will see like 55% of your income will go to a necessity account. And what that'll do is, this account is for managing your everyday expenses and bills, your rent, mortgage, utilities, taxes, food, all that stuff that you need to live on, the necessities. So you'll take your income, all of your money that you're bringing in, 55% is going to go to all of your bills, right? But then you want to have a play account, right, where 10% of your income, no matter what, is going into a separate account, and that's your play account. And this has to be spent every month on purchases that you wouldn't normally make. The purpose of this jar is to nurture yourself, right? You're going to, you know, whether you buy, I'm just reading the thing here, whether you buy an expensive wine at dinner, go to a massage, do a weekend getaway, or you go have a Sunday fun day and have fun. But it's really important taking that 10% of your income, and you have to spend it every month. And you're spending it on yourself, whether you take that Sunday, or some of you guys have different work schedules. Maybe your Sunday fun day is on Tuesday. I don't know, but you take that one day and just go have fun with yourself, right? Go do whatever you want. But then you're having all these other accounts where you have a financial freedom account. This is where you're going into investments for building passive income streams. You'll have an education account. This is where you're putting money towards getting stuff like AWOL Elite, or going through and getting new books or getting new audios. Then you have another account for long-term saving, and then you have another account for your give account, which is getting used to being able to give back to charities and different organizations that you want to be able to go and help out. And so, especially for those of you guys like Justin, now that you're starting to get to that point of making 10K a month, getting that point where you can section out your money as it comes in. You know this money goes to your bills, and know that when you guys are making this money, this is your business's money, right? You want to take what you live off of, like you're going to pay yourself a salary out of your business, right? You're not, a lot of people, and I can attest to this, I've done this too, where they see $30,000 come into their account and they go, oh my God, look at this, let's, you know what I mean? And they got so much money, they go and spend it. But you want to make sure that you're really strategic. Like I have a bunch of different accounts so that 10% goes to a play jar, 10% goes to, I have some events set up that I put in, 10% will go to different, you'll have a charity account. I've been donating to Charity Water, which is one that Cameron and I and AWOL have been donating to for a while, and building schools and some other stuff. But there's just making sure that you're on top of your income that's coming in, because especially if you can manage your money really well now, especially when you're just getting started, then when you start to get large amounts of income that are coming in, you know how to handle it. It's never going to be like catching you off guard and you're like, oh, what do I do? You know what I mean? And so making sure that you guys are kind of on top of that as we move forward, especially for those of you guys that are at that point where you're making $10,000 a month now. You guys are getting there, and really getting to that point where, you know, even the 10% for your education, that's a big one too. And that's like for Justin, I know they do, you know, stuff like Psy seminars that comes in to Vancouver, but like different things like that, or going to see DeMartini when he comes, or Bob Proctor, or buying books, or whatever it may be. But you're constantly investing in yourself on a daily, you know, if not monthly basis, where you're always having something new, whether you're buying new books, listening to new audios, doing stuff like that, and you're constantly learning and growing as you go moving forward, just knowing that all that money that you invest in yourself comes back tenfold through your business, through your relationships, through every other area of your life, and it makes everything that much better. And that was one of the kind of big things for me was, you know, I say this all the time, where I really neglected that personal development stuff. Now, Justin, you can probably see right now how important that stuff is, because you came in and you can unmute yourself here. You came in and you didn't have marketing experience when you started, did you?
I mean, I had a little bit here and there, not really, because I was trying to do some online marketing before. I tried doing the Amazon affiliate marketing. I tried to do the Shackley, but all of those ones were just sign up, okay, go figure it out. So as far as setting up a funnel system like you put in place, not at all. I didn't understand that. So
right, no. Right. So you're starting pretty much from ground zero.
Yeah.
Right? But what happens? You're focusing on reading the magic. You're focusing on reading all these books. Your mindset has developed so much over the last few months that you become so, even if you don't know what you're doing at all, you just knew that, okay, I'm going to go through the training, and I expected that what I'm doing is going to produce a result. Sorry, I got a little messed up there. What you're doing is going to produce a result, and that's one of the things, too, is that you always want to be going in with that intention that what you are doing is going to get you a result. Right? It doesn't matter how many times you spend money on ads and you don't get, you know, it doesn't convert, or this doesn't work, or that doesn't work, right? Because what can happen is that you start spending money on ads and maybe you don't get a result on your first campaign. Maybe you don't get a result on your second campaign or your third, and what starts to happen is it starts to set in, oh, maybe this is hard, maybe I can't do this, and if you're not focusing on yourself, it's very, very easy to let that spiral you down. And all of a sudden, it just creates this shit storm, and then everything goes to shit. You know, part of my language, I don't mean to swear, but that's what it'll do, right? And so when you really focus on yourself, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what comes into play. It doesn't matter if 500 ad campaigns go to shit, because you know that you're just one ad campaign away, right? You know that if your ad account gets shut down, you're gonna put a new one back up. And you probably have a backup, but if you don't, you're going to put a new one back up, you're going to get back up and running, and you're going to have another profitable campaign, because you know how to market now, right? And this is the thing too, guys, is like all of you guys are starting, and some of you guys right here that are watching, maybe you're not at that point where you're not building your funnels and you're not doing your calls yet, but you're leveraging the system that we have, right? So you're 100% of your effort is going just to make sure that you're on top of your ads, right? And you're getting on top of that. You want to make sure that you got that skill down. Once you have that skill down and you get your ads and they're converting, we want to progress and move you forward and get you to that point where, okay, now let's get you doing coaching calls. Now let's get you doing, you're always learning and growing and being a little bit better every single day. And some of you, it's going to take a little bit. Some of you guys are going to get it right away. You're going to go to ads, you're going to get a winning campaign, right? And then you're going to find good ones. It's just going to come naturally to you and it's going to be easy. Some of you guys might be like myself and it might take a lot longer. It might take a while to get your first winning campaign. I know for me, I spent $2,000 to have my first $25 sale when I was in my first company. Right, but like Justin, I didn't care though when I did that. It didn't matter what happened. It didn't matter how much I spent. I spent $2,000, made 25, and I was jumping up and down, excited because I was like, it works. If it works once, if I do it one day, I can do it every day, right? And that's the thing. If you can do this 1 month, if you can make 10 grand 1 month, you can make 10 grand every month, right? And that's the thing. Like as you start to progress and learn as you go moving forward. Every single one of you guys that follows what we lay out, that reads the book that we tell you to read, that really focuses on themselves, and it's not just reading the books. It's not just listening to the audios. It's not just going through the training. Because knowledge, and I said this on a previous one, knowledge is not power. It's applied knowledge that is power, right? You need to actually take this information and physically apply it to your life because you're not going to start to get these types of results. And this is going to be one of the big transitions here is getting from the point of understanding the information and then actually taking it and applying it to your life. Right? That's that little part there, which is really, it's easy, but it's really hard at the same time, right? Because it really is something where it's like, oh, you mean I just do this? But inside your head, to really have that belief where knowing that you have the ability to do this, knowing that you have the ability to create these results, you can at any point in time believe that you have the ability to do that. But it does take a little bit. There's a switch in there, and sometimes that switch is a little rusted over from all the beliefs that you've had growing through your entire life, and it can be a little hard to flip it, right? But once you flip it, you're going to go, oh my God, it was this easy the whole time? Like, all I had to do was flip that little switch, and now it's easy, right? And so this is why we kind of really go over all this stuff. So for those of you guys that did write out all of your goals, I'm going to jump back into here. For those of you guys that you guys wrote out your goals last webinar that we did. So for those of you guys that did not do that, make sure what we'll do is maybe I'll put in a file section in here, and we'll just have all the dates of the previous Hangouts and what they were, so that you can go back and see those, because you want to make sure that you get that done, right? Getting through this so that we're structured and we know that every morning we're going over our vision, we know where we're going, and we're going to progressively move towards there. And the reason why we do this is just exactly look what Justin's been able to do. Look what Carlson's been able to do. Carlson knows so much on the personal development side. Like he's very, very knowledgeable when it comes to this stuff, and that's why he knows. Like he told the story last time about the fitness competition that he went in. And he did it just to prove that when he sets his mind to something that he's going to do it. And then of course he did it, right? It wasn't like a rant, oh, I just happened to do that. Like, of course he did it. He set his intention on doing it, so it didn't matter. He was just going to do whatever it took and go and create that, right? If you don't know where you're going, you're never, ever, ever going to get there. And that's why I really stressed on that last week, where we had you guys go through and learn that stuff and really write that down and get clear on that. And for those of you guys in here that are saying, oh, I got to get a bit more consistent. I gotta get a bit more consistent with it. I have it written down, but I'm not reading it every day. This is something that you just have to think about. Okay, I know Matt said to read it. I know everyone else is reading it. I know the people that are getting results are reading it, but I'm not that consistent. And what you need to do is kind of get to that realization where it's like, okay, you know what? I need to drop my ego. I need to drop everything. I need to stop thinking that I know everything in the world. Even me, Cameron, none of us know everything. Like, the more we learn from our mentors, you learn from two things. You learn from mistakes and you learn from mentors. What can happen is you can not be consistent, right? And you can go on and learn on your own based off of failures and not being able to get to where you want, and then go, oh, shit, maybe I should listen, right? Or you can just immediately go, okay, you know what? I'm not being consistent. What do I need to do to make myself more consistent? Well, I can set an alarm so that every morning I know to read it. I know if I go to bed at 10 at night every night, I'm going to set an alarm at 10 so that it goes off and says, read your goals. And that's going to keep me accountable to that. And I know that as long as I do that for 3 weeks, 21 days, that's going to set in and become a routine, and then I'm not going to have an alarm. It's just going to do it, right? When you get really, really clear on why you're doing this, and this is another reason why we had this vision, right? Why we had you write this goal on why you were going to do this too, right? Why, like having an extremely strong why. I know, Justin, you're about to have a child pretty soon. That's probably one of the biggest whys that you can ever have, right? And that's like, that's one really that you can't just, that's one that only you can have a why that strong. Like only someone that has a child can have. I can't have a why that strong. That in that area, right? Because I don't have a kid. Only you are gonna know. Like I'm gonna do whatever the hell I need to do to make sure that my kid has the best life that I can possibly give, no matter what. And that's gonna drive you to make sure you read you bet your ass you're reading your vision every day. You bet your ass you're going over the magic and reading, and you're doing everything you possibly can. Because if I don't do this, it's not me I'm giving up on, right? It's my kid. And some of you guys, maybe you're in a different situation, but this is why we want to. Who else is going to be impacted from your success, right? Obviously for Justin, he's going to have his kid. Obviously with Carlson, you know, your girlfriend and the kiddos over there as well, right? They're all right. It's not when your vision is bigger than yourself. That's when you really start to create massive amounts of success, because it's not you giving up on you now. It's you giving up on everyone else there. And when you really start to look at that, it's like, who else is watching, right? Who else is watching you there? And you need to set that example for them and make sure that you do everything in your power. And that's why you want to have not only your goal, you want to know where you're going, right? So you know that you're taking actions on a daily basis to get there, but you want to know why. Why are you doing this? Are you doing this to help your kids? Are you doing this to help your family? Are you doing this to give a better life for your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife, or to be able to travel or do whatever it is, like to serve your purpose? Maybe you want to be able to go on. I know Julian wants to be able to eventually create fitness products. So his vision is to be able to do all this type of stuff so that he can eventually get to the point of creating his own products in the fitness industry, where he's extremely passionate about that, right? And whatever it may be. That's just random examples that I'm throwing out there. But this is the stuff, the Facebook ads, like all this other stuff is really 10% of you creating success. And that's why you'll hear, and it might sound like a broken record every time I get on something, because I'm going to harp this and really get down and make sure that you guys all understand that this is the most important part. If you get this stuff, you could be doing any type of marketing strategy ever, and you're going to get results, right? Because you are the deliberate creator of your own reality. And if you understand where you're going, why you're going there, and you hustle every single day to make sure that your day is the most productive that you can possibly make it, you're going to get there no matter what. There's nothing that can ever get in your way at all, because as long as the only way, you guys all know, like the only way that you're ever going to ever fail is if you give up, right? And that's why having a really strong why is important, because when you look at that and you know the only way for you to fail is if you give up, and your why is your kids, your why is your family, your why is all these other things, well, if you give up, you're giving up on them. And I know for me, when I first started that, my family and all that stuff, and being able to make sure that, you know, my family lived, you know, wasn't in the best situation for most of my life, and I always wanted to be able to not only create a life for myself, but for everyone, and be able to help out as much as I possibly could. And so I could not physically give up. I couldn't, because if I gave up, not only was I giving up on myself, but I was giving up on everyone else as well, right? And so that's why we really kind of go over this type of stuff so much when we go into here, because this is the most important stuff. And not only is it the most important stuff, but it's like I said, it's very easy and very difficult for some at the same time. It can be very difficult to get over that hump where you're just becoming full belief in your ability. And sorry, I'm just reading through. You just get really fully confident in your ability and what you're able to create. And this is why we have you guys read through these books, because really, at the end of the day, it's having that belief that you have the ability to create your own reality, whatever that may be, whether that's being Justin and wanting to go to Australia, or Carlson wanting to surf every day, or whatever it is that you guys are wanting to do, right? It's when you become in that belief, knowing that this is what you're going to do, and it doesn't matter what comes into play, that's when it starts to get really fun, and you start to really hustle and take action towards stuff. You'll start to realize that the more hustle that you start to do, the more action you start to take, the more lucky, quote unquote, I'll say lucky, you start to become, because when you start taking action towards your goals, all of a sudden everything just starts falling into place, and it's by design. That's how the universe works. When you start taking action towards your goals, is that everything does fall in place. Justin, the universe sees that you're taking action, this is where you're trying to go, and you're hustling, so the universe goes, okay, well, here, let's throw these in place. Let's make sure that everything that you're doing, and that's why all of a sudden you'll be like, oh man, it seems like every ad campaign I do, it just works. It seems like everything I do, it just seems like money just comes to me, like just easily all the time. And it's not because you just sat there and thought about, okay, money's going to come to me. You had that belief, you have that mindset that you're developing, and you're taking action on a daily basis over and over and over and over and over again. And this is sometimes some of you people are going to get into temporary defeat, and you're going to come into times where things don't work. And all this is tests. It's to find out how bad do you really want it, right? Because you're going to run into I ran into numerous times. I failed and failed and failed. For those of you guys at the event, look at Keala. He failed and 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 failed over and over and over and over and over again, right? But did it ever stop? No, because he never lost his enthusiasm towards his. It didn't matter how many times he failed. He was going to keep doing it, and eventually the universe is like, okay, there's nothing I can throw at this guy. He's just going to. This is what's going to happen. Now, some of you guys are going to go through a lot more, right, than others. Some of you guys are going to go through a lot of stuff, but know that that's all that it is. All that it is just a test, right? So we're getting pretty close at 7 here. I want to make sure we jump off and make sure that everyone gets in. Everyone gets onto Elite that wants to jump on there. What we wanted to do, I wanted to really touch on what Justin said there about the compounding. I want you guys to all think, and let me all know in the comment section here, what is your advertising budget that you guys can afford to spend every single month? Obviously, that doesn't put you out. This is something that you can spend every single month no matter what. Okay, let me know in the comment section how much you can spend every single month no matter what. Justin, when he started, his was $300 a month. And that's every month. He sectioned off that money, and that's what he was going to spend every month no matter what. Okay, let me know in the comment section. Holy, I'm getting a little... All right, let me know in the comment section, guys, how much you guys can spend. What is your advertising budget that you're going to spend every single month, no matter what? All right, and what we'll do is this is where it gets fun, because you can start to engineer your success where when you really start to compound stuff like that, when you compound your budget, as long as you keep progressing and moving forward, you're going to eventually get to the point where you're like, Justin, you have $3,000 to spend on your advertising this month, because you keep progressively going over and compounding your budget. So we got Eric Jones is at $150, okay. Steven's at $500, awesome. Diana's at $200 to $300. Jeff's at whatever I need. Jeff, I would come up with a set budget that you know you can spend every month no matter what, just for sake of this. Scott, you got $400. Roman, you got $500. Terrence, you got $400. Elmer's got $250. Okay. Josh has got $600. Awesome. So this is the amount of money that you're going to spend every single month no matter what. And now what I really encourage you to do is take this money, and so no matter what, that means next month, if you spend this whole budget, next month you make $0, you still spend that money next month. Okay? So you're gonna continue to do that. Now what you want to do is you want to take all the money that you make from this, right? This $300 or this $400, $500, $600, whatever it is, you're taking that money. And this does not mean, guys, this does not mean you just throw the money at the wall and just spend it as fast as you can on ads, right? Be very strategic and make sure that you're watching your ads. For those of you guys that are building your funnels, you are going to be able to track that a lot easier when you're able to play stuff like conversion pixels and stuff like that. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in the Elite in the Elite Trap, I'm going to show you guys how, if you guys haven't been doing that already, how to set conversion pixels and custom audience pixels, because then on your ads, you can see when you're building your own funnels, okay, I spent this much money and this ad generated this many leads, right? And you can see what ads, because some ads, maybe they're getting you 50-cent clicks, but you're getting not many leads. But maybe the other ones are getting 70-cent clicks, and you would normally shut them off, but those ones, because of the audience that you targeted, was actually getting you more leads, right? It's all going to be different, and you can't really tell until you build your own funnels. And so that's why we're going to be progressively moving forward to make sure that you guys do get to that point of building your funnels as fast as possible. The first thing is just dialing down your ads, right? And so you guys want to take this budget. I don't really have a budget. I love the business with my other business. I would set something. Come up with some number, Phil, whether it's 300, whether it's 200, something that you know every single month you can spend no matter what. No matter if you make $0 for the next 90 days, what is the amount that you spend every month no matter what? Okay? And so what you want to do is now take that budget, and you want to be compounding all of your earnings through, if you're building your own funnels, through PayPal, or if you're not, through your Doobly, everything that you're making, and you're compounding that back over. So if you spend $300 for the month, and you make $100, now your budget for the next month is now $400, right? And then now you spend $400, now maybe you make $150, now your next month is $450, right? Then maybe you make like $300 one month, so now the next budget you come back for the next month is $600. You notice how it starts to compound, and it starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and the bigger your budget is, now you start to make more, and it compounds over each other. Eventually you get to the point where you're like, Justin, and you're like, shit, I got $3,000 to spend on ads, right? And then it just keeps compounding over and over, right? And you keep growing the business like that, and that's how you get up to making that $10,000 really quick, right? When you start getting to the point where really, if your goal is making $10,000 a month, your first goal is nailing down some ads, getting it down to 50 cents a click, getting that down. Second goal is going through the 7-figure sales training and doing the coaching calls down, right? Making sure that you kind of get in. Really, it's an easy skill to be able to learn. It's just being personal with people and just showing them, okay, well, this is where you are, this is where you want to go, and I know I have the best possible solution to get you there, and you just map it out for them, right? And once you learn how to do that, it's explained obviously in a lot more in depth in the 7-figure sales training, and then you get to the point where you're building your own funnels and you're taking your own PayPal from there. Like, that's your first steps if you're wanting to get to the point of making $10,000 a month, because then you are in full control of your ads, because then you know, okay, well, if I spent every $5 I spend, it gets me 3 leads, and you know what I mean, and you know all the way through. So it's like, okay, well, I spent $100, that got me 50 leads, and those 50 leads got me 1 sale that made me $100. If you looked at that, this is what's called a self-liquidating funnel, or your front end offer, right, or $99 on the front end can start to fund your entire advertising. And obviously a lot of you guys are going to be able to get that for even cheaper, but you get to the point where you spend $100 to make $100 on the front end. That means every person that comes through Doobly is now profit, right? That's the ultimate game where you want to get to. Now obviously you guys are going to be able to get it more profitable as well, but you guys want to make sure that you guys are going and doing that. So write down your budget, and you guys should be keeping track of making sure that you're on top of your ads. So if you have $300 a month, what would that be? $10 a day in advertising. What I would do is, once you start to get to the point of you get an ad that's really good, and you start getting 50 cents a click, the faster you can go from there. Go through the 7-figure sales training and learn that stuff. Get to that point of learning how to do those coaching calls. Now, some of you guys might be like, well, I don't know how to do it. None of us knew how to do it. None of us. I didn't know. Justin didn't. Angela didn't. Carlson didn't. None of us knew how to do this stuff until we went through the training, right? And it's not, even if you think that you're not, maybe I don't know if I can do this. Everyone, I'm telling you, every single one of you guys can go out and do this, and then you're going to progressively learn forward, and you're going to compound your advertising budget over every single month until you get to that point where you're making $10,000 a month, and then you take your own salary out of there and still compound it over, right? And you're going to progressively move forward, and that's what's going to allow you to, like what Justin said, he compounded and kept compounding his budget over and over and over, and that's why he is where he is right now, because he just kept doing that. He kept focusing on himself. He's listening. He's reading The Magic every morning. He's reading The Breakthrough Experience and other books. He's going over his goals every day. He's compounding his budget. He's following everything that we lay out, and that's exactly why you're getting the results that you are. Right? So we've got to cut it. Pretty much, it's the hour right now, so we're gonna have to cut it right here. I just want to thank Angela and Carlson and Justin for you guys for coming out. That was awesome. For next week, we might try and switch it up on a different day so we can spend a little bit more time together if you guys want that. So guys, if you guys did not write your goals out, you have an $1,100 budget that month. Awesome, Scott. You're gonna crush it, right? So for those of you guys, if you did not write your vision out or your goals, go back over the last one. Please post a link for the last hangout. I'm going to be jumping on the Elite. I'll make sure I do that, or we'll get someone else to post that as soon as we possibly can from last week in the files section for you, Eric, so you can go and do that. Write out your goals. Get that really clear. Making sure that you're getting in the habit. You are reading some sort of book every day, whether it's Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Breakthrough Experience, reading The Magic every day, going over your vision. Just constantly be learning and growing every single day. You're just aiming to be a little bit better. Don't compare yourself to Justin. Don't compare yourself to Carlson. Don't compare yourself to Angela. Your goal is to be a little bit better than the person you were the day before. That's it. That's all you're trying to do. And however fast or slow that goes, it does not matter. As long as you just be a little bit better than the person that you were the day before, and you're constantly show up to the team hangouts, learn, see what we're doing. I'm going to bring up everyone that I see that's getting results, and we'll bring them up, and we'll see what you're doing. And you're going to see every person that I bring up is going to say the same shit every time. It's going to be hilarious, and you're going to laugh, and you're going to go, oh my God, every person keeps saying the same thing. Maybe I should do okay, I'm going to do it, right? That's what's going to happen. I guarantee it. It's going to happen. They're like, well, I was just reading books, listening to audios. I was compounding my budget every month, and I just kept learning and listening to what you guys said to do, and I got results. That's what's going to happen. I guarantee it, because I've seen this numerous times, guys. Every new person that comes up and gets results, they're like, man, and that's happened to me. Everyone's like, how did you do it? I'm like, man, I just listened to Cam. I didn't forever, and I didn't listen to him, and I kept fighting it and trying to do it on my own, and then I just surrendered. I was like, okay, Cam, you made $1 million by the time you were 24. Maybe I should start listening to you. and then I just listened to him, and I'm like, oh, well, damn, now I'm getting results. I guess that's how easy it is. So we got to jump off here to jump over to Elite, guys, but I appreciate every single one of you guys for jumping out here. Make sure that you guys do have your vision. You're going through this types of stuff. I guarantee you, if you keep progressing, moving forward, showing up on these weekly hangouts, those of you guys that are getting in Elite, you're going to progress that much faster, because you're going to have ad training, email training, all that stuff and really get to that next level quicker. But even still, just constantly be growing, become a little bit better than the person that you were the day before. I guarantee you're going to start getting results faster than you ever thought possible. All right, guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys, and we'll see you next week on Wednesday. Take care, guys.